Hey guys, so in today's video, I'm going to be showing you a tutorial for this look. Really excited to show it to you guys. I'm also going to be using the new Anastasia Beverly Hills palette. This is the Shadow Couture palette, and I have to say this is probably my favorite palette of all the palettes that she's come out with. Just for me, like the most wearable colors, but also some pops of color in there also. So let's go ahead and get started. First, I'm gonna go ahead and start by priming my skin using the Makeup Forever Hydrating Primer. This is still one of my favorites. And then I like to put a little concealer on before I do my eyeshadow, and today I'm going to be using the IT Cosmetics Bye Bye Under Eye. This is in the color medium, and to apply it, I'm using a Morphe E8 brush. This is my new absolute favorite brush to use to apply and buff out concealer underneath my eyes. It blends really well, just as well as a beauty blender, actually. It's incredibly soft, and it works for this concealer, the IT Cosmetics one, because it tends to be a little bit thicker, so it just kind of buffs it out really nicely. So now I'm gonna go ahead and add the soft ochre paint pot as a base to my lid using the Sigma P82 brush. Now I'm just adding some sheer setting powder to my lid before I start my shadow, and I'm using the Morphe E20 brush. Okay, so now I'm gonna fill in my eyebrows, and I'm using the Anastasia Beverly Hills Brow Wiz. This is in the color medium brown. So I just start penciling in the natural shape of my brow, just to make it look a little bit thicker and a little bit more full. And then I'm gonna fill in the front part of my brow using the brow powder in the color Taupe. I just dip my brush back and forth into both sides, and then I lightly fill in the tail just to get a little bit more full, and then also the front part of my brow. Today I'm using actually an eyeliner brush because I can't find my brow brush. I had an Anastasia Beverly Hills brow brush and I can't find it, which makes me very sad because it was like my favorite brush ever. I think I might have lost it this past weekend. Anyway, that's beside the point. So I'm just using a slanted eyeliner brush right now. And then I'm gonna go ahead and set it with some clear brow gel. So first, what I'm going to be doing is taking this dual fiber brush, this is from Real Techniques, and dipping it into the soft peach color. And that is gonna be my first and outer transition color. So just the kind of like the blending color that blends my natural skin tone into my eyeshadow. And I absolutely love using this eyeshadow brush. This is really great, even if you don't put any eyeshadow in it, just to use it as a blending brush. When I first saw this brush, honestly, I didn't think it was gonna do anything, but it gives a really flawless blend to your eyeshadow. So I'm just adding the soft peach for a very light and subtle transition color to the upper and outer crease of my eye. Next, I'm gonna take Morocco from the palette, and I'm actually using the brush that came with the palette. Most of the time, I don't use the brush that comes in palettes because they typically suck, but this one's actually pretty good. Although I think there might have been some black eyeshadow or something in the brush. I kind of started to see it as I started buffing it into my crease. But other than that, it's a really great dome-shaped brush. So I'm just buffing the Morocco into the crease and then the outer V a little bit. And now I'm going to take some of the Fudge eyeshadow using that same 217 brush and kind of pack it on the outer V of the eye and just really lightly blend that in. You could totally do your entire eyeshadow look with just these two colors, Morocco and Fudge. They go really, really well together. They're very pretty, like warm, brownish, transition, perfect colors. They're just very pretty colors. I think they would look great on a lot of different skin tones. But I'm just gonna be adding Fudge to the outer corner of the eye to add a little bit of dimension. And here I'm just coming back in with that Real Techniques brush just to kind of buff it out one more time before we add the purple. Now I'm adding the purple. So I'm taking a 217 brush and dipping it into Heirloom, which is a really pretty like jewel toned purple color. And I'm just gonna lightly dust that onto the lid. I'm not heavily packing it on right now. I'm just adding like a nice soft purple tint to the lid. And I'm keeping it a little bit away from the inner corners of the eye. So I'm just kind of focusing it on the middle and the outer edge closest to Fudge. Next, I'm gonna take this Tristique 12-Hour Eyeshadow Crayon, and this is in the color Venetian Gold. I'm just gonna add this as a cream base towards the inner corner of my lid because my eyeballs, I don't know what it is, sometimes they just reject shimmery eyeshadows. So I like to use a cream base. The only shadows where I don't have to do that is the Makeup Geek foiled shadows. But pretty much every other shimmer shadow, I have to use some sort of cream base. And then I'm gonna take Pink Champagne from the palette with a MAC 239 brush and pack that on the inner corner of the eye. It's gonna add a really pretty, like, soft silvery pink reflection and really help to brighten up the lid. And then I just turned the brush over and dipped a little bit more of that Heirloom, the purple color. So now I'm gonna go ahead and add some winged liner, and I'm using my Inglot gel liner. This is number 77, which is just black. Same as what I always use. And for the brush today, I'm using the Zoeva 317 wing liner brush. This one's actually specifically made for winged eyeliner, and it has quickly become my newest favorites. It is the perfect shape and the perfect angle, and most importantly, the perfect thickness for me. It's not too thin, but it's not too thick. So first I just trace along my lid, and then I create the wing, and then connect them and fill it in across the top. This is a new style of Koko lashes, and it's called Queen Bee. This is like, whoa. Oh my gosh. You guys know I love like crazy thick, long lashes, but these ones are amazing. They're like really wispy, but they're really long and they're thick and they're perfect. I love that they're winged out. So I'm just gonna go ahead and glue those on. I did trim them and I wrapped it around my finger just to help bend it a little bit. And to glue them on, I'm using, this is just the duo glue that you can get from Target, and this is the clear one. Now I'm going to move on to complexion, and for my foundation today, I'm using the new Makeup Forever Ultra HD foundation in the shade number 127. So I just put a couple pumps onto my little clear glass coaster, and then I'm using the bottom of my beauty blender to apply it. Anyway, I absolutely love this new Makeup Forever foundation. Although I did love the HD foundation, I don't know if I know what the difference is yet. I've been wearing this one for a few days now. I'm absolutely obsessed with it, but I don't know what the difference is between this one and the last one. Maybe it has a little bit more coverage. It seems almost a little bit more dewy to me, which is kind of trending right now, but if you have oily skin, I don't know if that's gonna be something that you're looking for. Next, I'm gonna highlight around my eye and nose area, and I'm just using the Nars Custard Concealer, and then I'm buffing it out with that same beauty blender, just the pointy side. And while I still have just all liquid on my face, I'm gonna take the Benefit What's Up cream concealer. So I just warm up the product with my finger, and then I just lightly apply it to the tops of my cheekbones, and you can see it just has such a pretty, soft, natural looking glow. And then I'm gonna add a little bit more highlight on top because, you know, this is the Laura Geller Gilded Honey, which I always thought would be way too gold, but I love the way that it looks on my face. So I have been obsessed with this one lately, so I just add it directly on top of that cream highlighter, and it just helps to make it stand out. It helps that way it doesn't go anywhere, and I just love the finish of these two products together. It's like my newest obsession. And now I am going to go ahead and set my under eye area, and I'm using the same beauty blender that I was using earlier with a little bit of the Laura Mercier translucent setting powder, and I just use the beauty blender to kind of buff it into my skin. I don't do like the heavy application and then dust it off later. I just like to do it all at once. And now I'm taking some sheer setting powder. This one's from A Bombshell, and I'm just lightly dusting some of that setting powder onto my skin using the Real Techniques Duo Fiber Face Brush. Now to bronze my skin, I'm using the Makeup Forever 25L Pro Bronze Fusion with a Bare Minerals Flawless Face Brush. And I'm just heavily applying this all over my forehead, down my cheekbone, a little bit into my contour. I'm actually doing this thing right now where I'm not contouring my cheekbone, which I know is like, sounds crazy, but I've just been using a little bit of bronzer instead of doing the heavy contour, and I've just been into it, so that's right, I'm not contouring my cheekbones right now. Now we're gonna go ahead and apply some blush. This is the City Color Papaya Blush. And now I'm going to add a little bit more highlight to the skin. This is just gonna make me look like I'm kind of sweaty, you know, just like a little bit sweaty. This is the Girlactik Face Glow in the color Natural. And I just dust this along my forehead, like kind of over my eyebrows. It just gives that really healthy looking glow to the skin that I love. And now I'm adding a little bit of that Laura Geller Gilded Honey just on the tip of my nose and a little bit on the Cupid's bow. Now I'm gonna finish my lower lash line. So here I'm just adding some of the Morocco eyeshadow from the palette, and I'm using a Morphe E36 brush to apply it. And then with a smaller brush, I'm using the Morphe E35 here. This one's like a really little smudger brush. I'm adding a little bit of the Fudge color just right up, all up in that lash line. And now I'm adding some dark brown liner to the waterline. This is the NYX dark brown liner. So here I'm taking my Lou Manizer from the Balm. This is still one of my favorite products to use for the inner corner of my eye. This is still an amazing highlighter. I've just purchased so many new ones lately. I just like to try out new ones, you know. But this is still like on my list of top 5 highlighters. And it's still my favorite to use on the inner corner of the eye. So I'm just gonna add a little bit in there, and then I'm gonna finish up the eye makeup with some mascara on my lower lashes. And here what I'm doing is just taking a little spoolie so that way my lower lashes don't touch my under eye area and get mascara everywhere, because that happens to me all the time and it drives me crazy. Now we're gonna add some lip, and I'm using the OCC lip pencil in the color Trick, which is a very pretty nude, warm nude pencil. And then for lipstick, I'm using Dose of Colors Poise, which is for sure one of my favorite nude lipsticks, like in the top 5 for sure. Love this lipstick. And then I'm gonna top it off with some of this Buxom lip gloss. This is the color Bellini, which is another really pretty nude, warm nude lip glosses. And that wraps up this makeup look. I really hope you guys enjoyed this video. I'm curious to hear what you guys think of these lashes. Either people love them or they think they're like insanely too long. So I'm curious to hear what you guys think. Let me know in the comments down below. I really hope you guys enjoyed this video, and thank you so much for watching.